That's okay. So, welcome everybody. This is our meeting of the last Thursday every month. It didn't happen the last couple of months because I was in India, but it happens every last Thursday. So, if you want to write that into your calendar. And so far, I have two meetings, meaning one in the morning, which is good for Indian time and for Australia, where Joanne is from, and the evening time is more for Europe and also for the US. So I was trying to cover all the time zones. And this meeting is hi Deepa. This meeting has a purpose that we can talk about rebirthing breathwork, and you can also ask me questions. So the topic I choose different topics during during each meeting, and I chose the topic for today: how the impact of conscious breathing on our daily life. And I will give a little speech, and then maybe if anybody would like to share something about that, how that applies in your life, or having questions about it. So my journey with rebirthing breath work started like 35 years ago in January. And there hasn't been a day since then that I did not take conscious connected breath. And mostly I have done that for most of these years. I've taken a bath twice a day and using the conscious connected breath in the bathtub, meaning giving myself completed energy cycles twice a day. If you do that every day, they become less intense, of course, they become shorter. And the completion basically is not like you have when you have a session once in a while, like you have a big cycle and lots of events happening and lots of sensations. And then at the end, you feel that total relaxation. And in the beginning of the sessions, when we start with the rebirthing breath work, these it can feel miraculously still and silent and beautiful and powerful. And when you do it every day, it becomes more like your natural state. You relax at the end, and usually during my sessions, I have lots of insights what I need to do during the day. So my intuition and my planning of the day usually happens in the bathtub. So also I receive insights into my communications, into understanding what is happening in people's lives. I prepare my sessions. Hello, Francesca.
Hello,
And
Heike.
good to see you.
Good to see you.
And so I'm talking about how the breath work in my life, in my daily life, actually is guiding me or giving me the guidance that I need. Um, oh, how do I get now my back into that? Okay, so which picture do you see now? Francesca, could you turn the okay, I can mute you. So the breath is the key, is the bridge between my consciousness. It is the bridge between my consciousness and my physical body, and also my spiritual state of being, my state of relaxation. And so it solves all aspects of my daily life. And so it is sort of like my prayer, my meditation, but it is also very practical planning of my daily routine. So that's why the impact of conscious breathing during my daily life, um, I'm eternally grateful that I have that tool. So the conscious connected breathing can be very simple and very gentle. It doesn't have to be um, forceful, radical, or whatever that that sometimes people have learned and practiced. It can be very soft and gentle. So we can do now the 20 connected breaths, 4 short breaths, 1 long breath 4 times, but so gentle and so softly that we are not hearing a sound. So I would like all of us to do that now. That means we can use the connected breathing to fill us with divine energy. So let's do that all together, the 4 short, the 1 long, 4 times through the nose, and so gentle and so softly that there is no sound. Shall we do that? So okay. So we can later talk about that. Actually, Francesca, are you in France? Oh, wow. Thank you for coming. I just remembered. I have been in your house, right? Wow, cool. Okay, so the 20 connected breaths is a simple exercise that we can do to to just energize us. And we can do it with more power, we can do it more loud, we can do it through the mouth, we can do it with the tongue between the lip and the teeth, which relaxes our jaws. And all of you here know the 20 connected breaths, so I don't really have to go into that. But how does that now in my daily life make my life easier? That's what I was talking about, and I would love to hear more from you also, and if you have questions about it. And specifically also how we emotionally balance. What is the emotional balance that happens when we are breathing connected? So when we are in a state of fight or flight, we breathe very fast. We often breathe only in the belly. We are breathing superficial, and that has an impact on our vagus nerve. So the connection with our nervous system happens through the diaphragm down in that area. And so when I use my diaphragm in a forceful way, when I use my diaphragm in a in an in a what is the word, in a contradictory way, meaning I push it out when I'm supposed to relax on the exhale, in a paradox way. That's the word I was looking for. So then I can actually get my nervous system into a state of fight and flight instead of relaxing it through the breath. So I can activate my nervous system or I can relax my nervous system. So, and that will have an impact on how I feel. If I feel anxious, if I feel uh, outraged, if I feel fearful, then my breathing will change the quality. And do I have an influence? Do I have an impact on that? Of course I do, because our breathing is the one of the faculties of the body that I can actually influence. It's not my autonomous nervous system, it's part of that as well. That means I inhale automatically when I can't kill myself by holding my breath. So the breath will always start up again. So everybody can try holding your breath and thinking, that's the way I could kill myself. But the autonomous nervous system will always make you breathe in again. So, but it's also part of the nervous system that we can influence, that we have power over, that we can control. And so the breathing faculty is both. And so when I feel anxious, I can notice how my breathing is going, but I can also influence not feeling anxious anymore by influencing my breathing. So it gives me a revelation of how I'm feeling by watching my breathing, but it also gives me the tool to change how I'm feeling in my in my emotional body. And of course, for Leonard, it was always that the mind and the breath are the king and queen of human consciousness. So that means that it's not just the breathing. I also can influence my emotions when I change my thinking. And the breath and the mind, they originate in the higher self, both of it. And they both help me to get also in touch with my higher nature. And they both become quiet when we are reaching the higher states of consciousness. That's why at the end of a breathing session, for example, your breathing is very quiet and you feel like you don't even have to breathe. Everybody has experienced that here. You all had individual sessions. At the end of a good breathing session, there is basically no breathing. And at the same time, you're entering a space where there's no thought. So both of it will integrate, will be quietened, will be not needed, so to speak, anymore when I'm in that state of heightened awareness. But till we get there and stay there all the time, the breath and the mind can be very helpful tools. So the mind, I can make it one-pointed. So I do a mantra, I focus on the breath, I do Vipassana meditation, whatever the practice is somebody is doing to help me to still the mind. And I can use the breathing, the conscious connected breathing, to also get me to that higher state of consciousness. So that's the spiritual aspects of breathing. So we have the emotional aspects of the breathing, we have the spiritual aspects of the breathing, and we also have the physical aspects of breathing, meaning supply of oxygen, supply of life energy, and a balanced nervous system. So all these three aspects we can satisfy, or we can we can make them more conscious and more useful on our journey here in the physical universe. And so I think all these three aspects, sometimes we, in our daily life, we have different needs. Sometimes I have a physical challenge. I need to focus more on my physical body to heal, to change the breathing, the level of oxygen that I need for my activities. Sometimes I have emotional needs because something happens, some challenges happen, and I have to just balance myself, to find calm again, to find solutions for my daily life. And then also every day, if possible, we want to tune into our higher nature and hopefully to stay connected during the day. So not just doing it in the meditations, but to be aware of our spiritual nature, of our I am presence during all of the day, which we're all working on. So we can be patient with ourselves, but that's maybe for some of us, it might be the goal. So that was actually what I would like to share. And if anybody would like, open this and for more sharing and contemplation or questions that you might have. And so that we have a little bit of an interaction. And I'm happy for all of you to be here. And I know you all have had experiences. So my question to you is, how does the conscious connected breath affect your daily life? Or is it right now just when you use it, maybe giving yourself a session once a week or once a month, or if you're having sessions with other people, and if you have any questions about that? Who would like to share anything? Otherwise, I have to put Joanne on the spot.
Okie dokie. What always amazes me about my breath is how that my relationship to it continues to deepen, like that and get more expanded at the same time, really. And like through the years of breathing every day, as Heike does, I would say it's like my best friend. My breath is my best friend. In playing every day with whatever comes up and what goes on, and allowing me to be with my body and the energies that are moving through it. And that said, I have the sort of pattern in myself that I'm working on. Well, not really working on, but I don't like the word work. That I am playing with at the moment is that I notice that I still, after all these years, I still, when I'm breathing, trying to expel something from myself rather than be with it, like totally be and accept that this is a part of me, particularly if it's a really like irritating feeling that's coming up, that like it just feels so irritable that I just want to run away. That's what I want to do, and so that's what I'm playing with on a daily basis pretty much these days, and I like it, but at the same time that feels really good because I through the years, the level of peace I feel in my life deepens. The more I breathe, the more that deepens, the more peaceful I become, and the stiller my energy field is, it's, I can still get rocked, but it's pretty hard to rock me. You know, people can do all sorts of things, and I just, yeah, okay. Like I don't feel affected by, shall I say, other people's inappropriate behaviour, and yeah. I was going to say something else, but I've forgotten.
Well, so about the expelling, so you mean you would rather like just to relax into it rather than try to get rid of it?
Well, what I notice in my breathing cycle is if and they're really irritating feelings will come up in my body, and I notice that what I'm trying to do is breathe them away, and I can't. Like they just don't go anywhere. Like it doesn't matter how long I breathe for with that attitude. But if I stop and go, I'm trying to get rid of this, instead of allow it to be a part of me that's happening at the moment, and the more I do that, the more I embrace it. Like it's an embracing and pouring love towards that thing that I'm so desperately wanting to not be a part of me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I might add something about that because I just returned from India, and one of the things that was in my task with some of you to change the breathing rhythm from that forceful exhale and forceful expelling of something and the fight actually with the sensations. So the breathing that we want to train, and that is relaxing for the body, is to not push on the exhale. And so that's what I meant beforehand with the paradox breathing. Like the diaphragm, when we are relaxing, is basically just supposed to relax back into its place. And many of us, or many people, have learned, and also by habit from early childhood, but also through some breathing that they learned, to push down on the diaphragm. So that's when we're trying to expel something. That's when we are making something wrong and we say we don't want that. And like what you're saying is really important, that when I try to get rid of something, that's how I attach myself to it. Like the more I think negative of somebody and I want to get rid of them, the more my mind is busy with it. And that's the same with all our emotional problems. When I try to get rid of it, I'm not really looking for the positive solution, which is what can be done now? How can I use that? How can I make that as a good thing into something even better? And so from the spiritual standpoint, I'm reading a lot of Master Eckhart. It's not Eckhart Tolle, Eckhart, who was a mystic in Germany in the 1100 or something, so very ancient. And he basically it's the the state of mind is being okay and receiving whatever happens in our life as a gift.
That reminds me of what I was going to say.
Okay, go.
The thing that's really exciting about what I'm working with now is it's like the very bottom layers of me trying to push parts of me away from myself. And I know that what you're talking about there, that's that's the gift that's coming. Like I haven't quite got it yet, but it's coming, and I can feel that coming. That I'm going to totally 100% accept all of me, and that feels really exciting that that's happening in that process. Like, yeah.
And expanding that, not just what is in me, welcoming it, but also saying whatever silly thing somebody else does to me, that's also welcome.
Yes.
And that's even more of a challenge because we always want things and people to change, and we want things to be different. And so what I'm immersing myself in these teachings with is basically, if I say I don't like that, I'm basically telling the divine power, you're doing something bad to me. I'm refusing to participate in life and say, oh, that was not nice. Don't do that to me. And so I'm basically telling God, Shiva, whoever is whatever name I give the divine power, I'm basically saying, no, you're not really correctly treating me. You're not you're not fair on me. And we want fairness, we want justice, but we forget that we might have done things that are just the repercussion of what I have done in the past is now coming my way. So divine justice is a bigger thing than just wanting to be well treated all the time.
Oh, for sure. And I am like what you're talking about is also going on for me lately. But like I'm starting to realize that how like energy and God and love works is that if I'm like, and I'm not totally clear on this, so like I don't think I'm at the end of it, but I this is what it feels like at the moment. If I am like have an open energy field and someone comes into my energy field and their field is closed or more closed than mine, say, and they're suppressing something or other, if they stay long enough in my field will take that and bring it out through me, like that. It will get expressed through me, because that's what love wants to do. It wants to balance everything out all the time. So yeah, and
we could call that emotional energy pollution, but we can find also maybe a nicer word for it. Basically, it's love transforms.
Yeah.
Love transforms everything unlike itself. And so coming back to the breathing, my breathing pattern also mirrors that same attitude, that I say, I don't want the sensations. For example, when people have breathing sessions and they're fighting with the tetany, with the sensations, they're just fighting with it, and the mind is saying, oh, I can't stand it, I don't want this, I want to get out of here. So that's basically not relaxing. It's the opposite of just relaxing and saying, okay, let me see, maybe it's related to this. So how can I use it? What do I need to change? How can I just relax and let it be washed away into something else? So the forcing of the exhale is the expression of saying no to life in whatever comes to me. And of course, it is a challenge to say, okay, everything is welcome, when it's not in our favor, or when it doesn't look like I deserve that bad treatment. Then we say, oh, life is not good to me. And when I can, the German word is Gleichmut, which means equal courage. I don't know if that translates into something in English, but that's the word in that Master Eckhart uses, Eckhart. It's like I stay equally balanced, and it takes courage. So that's also how he explains that word. So in a breathing session, I also want to have that equally balanced state of mind that says, oh, let me look at all my past thoughts, my memories. And the sensations in my body are also memories. So if I can surrender to those memories and to those thoughts and feelings from the past, and just have a long inhale and a relaxed exhale, then I'm more able to release that. Anybody else likes to share? Deepa
I have a
Lakshmi?
question. Yeah, I
Yes.
have a question. So,
Yes.
if we inhale the more, even in daily, day-to-day breathing, if we inhale longer, will that help? Is that a good practice? Inhale long and then just relax.
Yes. Yes. The long inhale is important because that opens my breathing mechanism. So on the physical level, we want to open our breathing mechanism. I can't do that with short breaths. If I do a short inhale, I'm breathing like, but I don't get very high up. So if I make short inhales, I don't get further than just not even to my heart. And so when I have a long inhale, I need space and time. I need time to open my muscles, my lungs. I need to open my upper chest. And that balances also, that gives an input to the vagus nerve to say, okay, I can relax now. My nervous system can say, okay, we are not in fight and flight. I can make it, I have time. I'm not running away from something. I have time to take a long inhale. So the long inhale is one step. And of course, the relaxed long exhale is the second part. So they go together. Because if I, so we call that the breathing deviations. And most of you have the book of Fanny van Leer, and that she wrote the Rebirthers Manual. So if you look into the book of breathing deviations, the changes that we have developed in our breathing mechanism from that full free breathing, which we might have never had because birth trauma and all this impacted it. So most people are not even able to take that long breath because they have never in their life given themselves enough time to have a full long inhale. So very, very important. Yes, a long inhale makes me just relax. It says you have enough time. We're not running away from anything. Just take your space and open up to life. So the long inhale is one of the keys. And the other key, of course, is the relaxed long exhale. For the vagus nerve, it is, they say you have the exhale a little longer than the inhale to get into digest and relax state, because we're also not digesting food properly if we're breathing fast. We are emotionally staying in anxiety, and that long inhale and even a little longer on the exhale relaxes the vagus nerve, which is responsible for all the internal organs like the digestion, the lungs, the heart. All the organs are feeding their information to the brain through the vagus nerve. So, but in the breathing session, we can have the exhale just a little bit shorter than the inhale because we want the connection. And we, at the same time, we are also initiating. We don't want to be totally relaxed because we are also in a dynamic process in the breathing session. So we do want to have some activation because we are processing emotional content, memories, and thoughts and feelings. Yes, so very important. Yes, Deepa, we do want to have, and that's a practice that we can teach anybody. We can teach people even if they don't have a full breathing session. So your family, your children, you can just tell them, okay, just let's take a long, deep inhale. You could always hear Leonard where he was because he would make these long, he would take these long breaths and everybody was, whoa, what happened? And Leonard was just relaxing himself with his breathing. So anybody can do that without using any other form of connected breathing by just relaxing. That's like a sigh, taking that full inhale and just letting go on the exhale. So when people are stressed around it, when they have a meeting at work, everybody can just have that deep, long inhale and then just relax and let go. That in itself, that one breath can already change your nervous system, give an impulse so that you get out of the anxiety of fight and flight. Great.
One more question.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I breathe, sometimes I feel like I breathe into the chest. Sometimes I feel I breathe into the nose, into my brain. So, is there any difference? Because to me, it looks these are two different things, or is it just my illusion?
No, this is wonderful awareness because when I do the 20 connected breaths in teaching them in groups, I often also do meditations. And in the meditation, you can become aware, and you can do that during your daily breathing too. You can become aware, where are you actually breathing? So according to Rudolf Steiner, we will develop lungs in a few hundred years where we don't need oxygen, that the lungs actually create everything that the body needs in themselves. And of course, that would be great in Delhi right now because, the air pollution, but it's not for that purpose. It is like our divine nature becomes self-sufficient. We are not grasping, we are not depending on anything in the outside. But we can breathe with the face. And when you're giving breathing sessions, like all of you have the ability and you are giving breathing sessions, sometimes you feel the vibration in front of the whole face of people. So they're not just breathing with the nostrils or to certain parts of the body, they're breathing with their whole being. So being aware, okay, where is the energy going to? How does it get into my body? Does it go to my heart? Does it go to my brain? Does the energy go down into my feet? That's wonderful awareness. And I don't know, Joanne, if you wanted to say something about the anchoring of the breath and your experience with that. So yes, just acknowledge yourself for, wow, there is something going on in my breath. And Leonard always said, we are exploring our breathing ability. We are exploring, the breath is our teacher. That's why we don't have a routine like say, okay, we always breathe in by 4 and always breathe out by 5 or whatever. That's pranayama. That's where you want to have control. But we don't want control in the connected breathing rhythm. We want the opposite. We want intuitive connected breathing. We want to follow the breath, the prana in the body. Does that answer your question?
Yes. And
Great.
my breathing is always like very shallow. So by practice, I can improve it, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. And you can start every day, let's say when you come home and you have a stressful day, you can just take a shower. That helps you to get rid of the EP and at the same time breathe and just breathe for 5-10 minutes. And I also have to consciously pay attention. Okay, am I breathing in deep and full? Because human nature is a bit lazy. So we like to get away with things. So then if I don't pay attention to it, I might also have a shallow breath. And so, yes, we do want to have more awareness of it, and we can consciously improve the inflow of prana and life energy. And so just do it every day, and then you will already feel the improvement, and then you give yourself a complete energy cycle for an hour or 1.5 hours, whatever time it takes, once a week or whenever you have the time for it. And the 20 connected breaths, Leonard developed them only to just have a little routine, because the mind likes a little routine, because otherwise we do something today, we forget about it tomorrow. You know, if we don't have a spiritual practice, a regular spiritual practice, then we tend to forget. You know, all the wonderful books I've read and all the times I thought, oh, I need to do that every day. I mean, there's probably so much. If I had stayed with one thing, that probably would have been also enough if we do it properly. That's why we don't really need to go from one technique to the next and explore it. If we do the one that we find helpful and leads us to higher states of consciousness, if we just do that properly. Leonard said it's just furniture in our mind. We like to accumulate all that furniture in the mind, and but it might not help us. So just using the breathing consciously every day is a wonderful practice. Joanne, would you like to share anything? I don't want to put you on the spot, but if you feel like it.
I'm not ready to share anything about the breath anchor at the moment, but because I want to talk to you more about it.
Okay.
Anyway, but I did want to share something. You know, like you're talking about, you pick up techniques and stuff, and like I relate to that very strongly. I do that all the time. Go, oh, that's a great idea, and I practice it for a day and then it's gone. But there was one I was practicing last week, and I was like, I have an electric car, and so I can watch, you know, how much power it takes to go certain places. And I was practicing this technique, and I went to somewhere I often go that takes like 20% of the battery, and this day it only took 13% because I was in such a high state. That was fun.
You were powering your car.
I am. want it so it uses no power. That'd be cool.
Yes. Yes, I had that with fuel, actually, with gasoline in the tank. That
Yeah,
sometimes you can. It depends on how you're flying.
it does. Yeah.
Great. So, anybody else has any questions or anything to share?
Wrong one.
Prem, Perna. I have to pronounce it properly now.
Yeah, that's lovely. You got it.
Yes.
So I wanted to share, like in my last.
Could you speak a little louder, please?
Hello, can you hear me?
Not so well.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, now it's better.
Okay. So I just wanted to share in my last breathwork session, like, even though I'd slept well, I was sort of dozing off towards the end and even during the session. And I don't know what it is, but I'm not hitting the, like it's some sort of block. And I've been trying to probably even think about what it is, but I don't know, I'm not getting there. So can you help me, like, if you're hitting that block of, like, even though me trying to, like breathe through it and all, what should be done to, just get over it sooner?
Yes, so there is different reasons why we are forgetting to breathe, or why we are falling asleep, or why we feel sleepy. And one could be physical, or the drugs that we have taken, including the anesthesia our mother had possibly at our birth. And it could be any kind of operation that we had where we received anesthesia. So usually that has a little smell, and the rebirther also feels a bit drowsy when that happens. If it's emotional, the emotional mind likes to protect our memories, because we have suppressed those memories because they were too scary, too painful, too intense to keep them in our consciousness. So the consciousness says, okay, let's push it down so we don't stay aware of these memories, of this experience. So now this is somewhere stored in the physical body and in the emotional mind. And the emotional mind does everything it can to protect that and say, no, we are not going to get there because it's too painful. So the barrier, it's called the urgency barrier, prevents me from going deeper. So the physical reaction in the body is, one way I've suppressed it is with sleep. The emotional mind says, oh, too painful, we are not going there, sleep. Food is another one. People feel really hungry, they need to eat some, they feel like, oh, I need to eat something. And that's our suppression mechanism. So what would be helpful is mouth breathing. So just in that case, vigorously breathe through the mouth, because mouth breathing tends to bring suppressed feelings to the surface. Or you can walk around, crawl around on all fours, and the rebirther can actually rock you, or sitting up is also good. So you do want to be active in that situation, because the opposing force of your subconscious mind says, let's not get there. And you have to get all your strengths together and say, yes, we get there. And the emotional mind also needs to feel safe to get there. That means you have to create a safe environment in your mind. And that's why I'm trying to get people out of that forceful breathing and that running away, because that running away, that fight and flight, is the mind saying, I'm not safe here. And how can you access really deep memories when you're not feeling safe? You're already not safe. And people are already holding their breath. If you don't have the breathing down, like staying in the connected breathing no matter what happens, then it is really scary to go into a memory because you don't have a means to get out of it. And I observed that a lot in my recent sessions and my last 2 visits in India, that people, when a memory comes, they just hold their breath. But in an extreme, intense way I've never seen anywhere so far, because it is like, oh, I'm pressing it back down. And so we say, I want to get in touch with my memory, but at the same time, I'm saying, no, I can't deal with it. So when that sleepiness comes, I can question and say, where is that coming from? Is that some operation I had, some drugs I might have used, or is it my emotional mind that feels scared to get in touch with the memory? And then if it's drugs, you have to walk around, because you can do cold water rebirthing, you can do any kind of vigorous mouth breathing. If it's emotions, you have to also balance, you have to find the emotional safety with a good rebirther, who is gentle with you, because gentleness is also the key. You all know that I'm very much into the gentleness, that little inner child needs to feel safe to get in touch with the memory. So sleepiness, we have to analyze it. What is the base of it? Where is it coming from? And then staying active and moving it. And sometimes it might take a few sessions. So we just also have to have patience, but more vigorous breathing. If in that you do the silent breath, you're probably sleeping right away. Does that answer your question?
The thing is, for me to recollect, also, I had one question. Like, I don't usually remember that if I have any dreams or, uh, so hello.
Well, but that you can for remembering dreams, there is actually a mantra. There is the practice before you fall asleep at night to give your mind the instruction. When I wake up, I want to remember my dreams. So you can consciously work on getting more memories. And I also personally never had conscious birth memories that I saw, like some people see the birthing theater, the place where they are born and the people who are there. I never had that. So sometimes we just have to know, okay, whatever is releasing, even if I don't know the exact content of that memory, but I feel lighter at the end. So I released it, something happened. So we don't necessarily have to have images, but we can train ourselves to have more of them. But don't compare yourself with other people and saying, oh, I don't have what other people, it just puts ourselves down. We lose the comparison and the competition. So just being happy with whatever you're releasing and keep working at it. And we are all like dealing with our individual our individual cases and our individual memories of all those lifetimes that we had. So make it a little bit more active, walk around, moving the body from one side to the other, moving hands up and down. All these things can help you to move through it.
Okay,
Yes,
so yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
very welcome. Anybody else before we finish? Vanity. Yes, hello. I like your picture.
Thank you. I had kept it long, so many years ago when I was in college, and I hadn't. Yeah, I had an interesting observation recently. When I do my workout, like when I do plank, any physically exerting activity, my body naturally goes into conscious connected breathing, and the activity becomes very much easier. My workout trainer is very happy with me these days. I'm able to hold the planks for much longer duration. And after the workout, the muscle recovery time is pretty quick. Earlier, I used to have muscle soreness after a workout. These days, I hardly have any soreness at all. And when I go for brisk walking, even then my body goes into. I'm not intending to do conscious connected breathing, but my body naturally does it for just for a few seconds. Um, like Prerna shared, I'm facing that emotional, my breathing very well. Yeah, when I do an intentional breathing, when that intense emotions surface up, I find it, I used to find it a bit challenging to stay awake, continue breathing.
Yes. So rebirthing in action, that's what you're referring to, is wonderful. Like when I climbed Mount Kailash in Harakhan, I breathe connected the whole time to get myself up there. And also first of all, you're also getting yourself into a higher mental state, and also like the spiritual connection if you do something like that, like climbing Mount Kailash, but also in your daily life, connected breathing in action will help you to release memories from the body at the same time. It's not just physical exercise, but it also helps you. So one suggestion would be to stop once in a while. Like you
Okay.
get yourself activated, you run or walk fast for some time, and then you have lots of parks around where you are. Just go into a park, sit there for a moment, and integrate that that energy, and just sit there and breathe connected. Do it alone, nobody around.
That's a
And
wonderful suggestion.
then you have even more benefit of that, because you're helping your body to have little breathing sessions, and the outer activity helps you to stimulate your breathing mechanism, your breathing ability. And you do it more consciously, so you have time and space and a beautiful environment where you are. It will make your mind clear. It will just all the benefits that you have from it, not just the physical.
Yeah, sure, Heike. I'll definitely try that.
Great.
Much.
Thank you. Francesca, anything you like to share with us? I'm so happy to see you. I don't know how many years it is that I haven't seen you. You're muted. Can you? I can unmute you. maybe. No, I can only ask you. Yes, now you.
Okay. Okay, now. Yeah, now you can
Yes.
hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, maybe 10 years.
10 years. Wow. Yes.
Maybe. Yeah, something like that. And you know what? I didn't plan anything this morning. I was watching my phone and going through my emails, and then I see yours and like, okay, and last Thursday of every month, and okay, it's today and 9 o'clock. Okay, it's now. And I'm like, oh, why not? So it's a total spontaneous hello. And
Wonderful.
yeah, it's nice to see you and to hear you, and you're always so relevant. So yeah.
Wonderful. I'm so happy to see you too.
Where are you now? India?
No, I'm in Germany. I just returned from India last Thursday, so it's not long ago. So I was there for 6 weeks, and some of the wonderful people here, I've met them there. So
Oh, okay, nice.
yes. So you're still working with rebirthing?
Not really working. I'm working on myself, but not with other people. No. And yeah, I use the conscious breathing just to help me go through my personal life, and yeah, that's it. I don't give sessions. No.
If I may say for the others, Francesca was a translator in one of Leonard's trainings. That's where we met.
Yes.
In France.
Wonderful training. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. South of France, and the place was beautiful too. Yeah. Yes. So let's see if we can get more of seeing each other, or getting more in contact. Yes.
Yes. Very happy about that. Great. So you got it in the newsletter, right?
Yes.
Yes, great. Wonderful. Okay, so there is another meeting tonight, which is for India and Australia, not a good time, which is 7 p.m. Central European time, and all the other people will be sleeping. Otherwise, I hope to see you on the last Thursday of April. What is the date? I can just check that. And so give me, if you have any wish for a topic, if you have a topic right now that you could think of, tell me, or you can write me a WhatsApp, then I can see. So April, last Thursday is the 30th of April. And that's when we meet again. And so if you have any questions beforehand that I could talk about, then you can let me know. And wonderful.
Okay.
And
thank you.
The sun is coming
Bye,
out
Heike.
here. Goodbye, everybody. Have a wonderful day. And thank you for joining. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.